Good afternoon. I hope everyone is having a good one. And let me know if I'm coming through okay with the audio and everything. I think I'm up on Twitch. I seem to be up on YouTube. You should be seeing blinking lights. If the lights are blinking, things are okay. It's gonna be okay. Hey Thunder there. So, sound off in chat if you are watching, and if you're hearing me okay and ready to follow along, I think we'll get into some more podcast programming related stuff. I have so far had one vote in favor of going and focusing on UI, and that was because they were a bit of a back-ender and felt that data was the easy part. Good. Yeah, so today we have a little bit of a choice to make about whether we want to focus on the UI or the data side of things. But first, of course, I wanted to show off my recent hardware acquisition. So I'm doing a lot of work with Raspberry Pi currently, a fair bit of work with CM4s, and I felt like I needed, but actually just wanted this thing for a little bit. So now I had a commercially viable excuse to get it. But yeah, this is a CM4 cluster board, and I find it adorable. And also I got this bench thing to keep it on, which I think is very nice. And I don't know if there's interest. Maybe after the webby part of the stream, maybe we poke around with this a little bit. I have one thing I've done before with Raspberry Pis that I want to repeat with these because they're interesting. It's kind of fun that they're all networked on a single board like this. So I rather like it. I think it's cool. So FaceTime. Welcome to the stream. There. Let's. Yeah, it is a write-off. That's the good part about running a business. I'm a very serious embedded developer. I need this for my work. It is helpful for my work. Need is a strong word, but that's not how the IRS kind of thing checks things. All right. Let's see where we left off. And let's switch to this. Last time, I just kept keeping my face on the screen while I talked about all the things we were doing. That was weird. So I try not to do that. Yeah, don't tell the Skatteverket. That's correct. Actually, I think this would pass muster with the Skatteverket, of course. Actually. But yeah. As per usual, the stream is sponsored by Tigris. They're the lovely folks that unlock my time so I can do a bunch of this stuff. And right now, I'm mostly doing the live stream, and I'm mostly doing prep for my keynote at Gig City Elixir. If you're going to Gig City Elixir, don't miss it. And if you're going to NervesConf, I will also be speaking there, so don't miss it. Those two are connected, so go to both. It's the lovely Tates that are arranging this as per usual, so it's going to be a good time, I'm sure. Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's where I'm going. This May, so might as well bring that up. Gig City Elixir, look at that. NervesConf, May 9th. GC Training, May 9th. GC Conference, May 10th to 11th. And like, look at this lineup. Look at it. It's Frank Hunleth, Nerves project update. Adorable. Love Frank. Brian Hunter, probably one of our best Beam Radio episodes ever. Punking the servers. You should listen to it if you haven't. Look forward to hearing what he's up to. Randall, super cool dude. Met him in Berlin. It was a lovely time. I believe I've interviewed Chris Miller, but I haven't been in touch with him recently. Zach does Ash Framework. Super cool guy. Lots going on around Ash Framework. Chris Keithley, old legend in the Elixir space, right? So look forward to actually saying hi to him now that I kind of know who he is properly. I did technically meet him in Prague once, but I think I mostly felt awkward. I didn't know who he was. I know we've had Andrew on the show on Beam Radio. Also, super focused on kind of teaching, training, onboarding. So that's great. Amos, one of the 2 outlaws here. Super nice guy. Really helped me feel like I was a part of the Elixir space in certain ways. Not familiar with Sam. ML for trading stocks. Might be why I'm not familiar. Not really my space. Flora is awesome. This is going to be interesting to see where she's at currently, because she's had quite a journey, and she entered Elixir by doing puppetry and nerves, which is like amazing. It's very quiet in the chat. Can you hear me? Are you there? I know people are watching because I can see a number. Todd, OG Nerves guy. He's putting on Nerves Conf pretty much. So yeah, awesome. Not familiar with Anna. Or like Stuart Page feels familiar. This is a good topic though. Stupid awesome AI product development when text changing daily. Chris Nelson, Live State, Live You Reimagined. You have my curiosity. Huh. Well, we'll see. Josh Price, more Ash Framework. So that's, he runs Alembic over in Australia. Not familiar with Ruth or their work. Sounds like solid topic. I don't know who this guy is. Don't mind him. Andrea, always a good time. And Bruce. He makes the conference along with Maggie. It's gonna be good. Yeah, and then there's trainings. So effective teaching training practices. Oh, no, Andrew and Ruth doing that. Okay, cool. And then Josh and Zach are doing Ash 3.0. I do hope they have a talk as well. I imagine Zach would at least have a talk. Cool. So I know one of the sponsors is, or I thought one of them might be One-to-One Health. No, it's HCA Healthcare. So they are, I think that's Brian Hunter's crew. Yes, it is. And they are doing a bunch of interesting things where they're like modeling patients as processes in Elixir and stuff. And they are also doing hot code updates, a bunch of that kind of challenging stuff that most people don't touch. All right, enough about the conference I'm going to. I hope I will see some of you there. But that's May. Now is now. And we have podcasts to deal with. Now, I don't hear anyone weighing in on whether we do like fetching of podcast episodes and metadata and like storing that and fiddling with that, or building out some UI for what we already have. So I had someone weigh in on Mastodon. So currently I'm leaning UI. Oh, let's do some UI for a bit. If you want to re-steer this ship, you probably can. It's mostly about saying so. So let's see, we have the pod fetcher and then we have the feed fetcher. And I know the pod fetcher at least broadcasts what it's doing. I'm not sure the feed fetcher does. Broadcast, no, not yet at least. There's the store feed. Podcasts, store feed. Actually, you know what would be nicer? Nice. If the pod fetcher and this thing. So this is store entry. Yeah. So once that happens, no, not that. And then for this, let's see, so this still podcasts, entry feed, and let's see, yeah, it's still like ID and feed, ID, feed, title, I think so. Hey, Andrew Stewart, aka Source Rip. Yeah, I'm probably doing some UI work. Actually, we had an issue I'm a little bit curious to poke at from last time, but that was about listings and paging. Apparently, I'm supposed to use list objects v2, but let's not get into that. Paging is not that interesting. We could do that later, but for now, let's see. So this, as far as like a view goes, it's kind of wild because it's gonna start downloading stuff. That is gonna start telling this live view about it. And boom, and I think we saw some errors, and I think some of that could be, well, that's failed to parse, but that's fine. All right. This poor thing is going to get a lot of data. What happened there? We got an error. I think stream reduce, feed fetcher, handle continue. Oh, timeout on the stream. That's a thing that can happen, unfortunately. So the feed fetcher had a timeout. Hold on. 18. What timed out? Continue fetch. Is there a timeout associated with the handle continue? It's not something I've thought about. So if I do a continue, return. don't think the handle continue timed out. So task supervised stream. It seems to indicate line 18, which is get entries, which is, oh, that. Yeah, that's probably uncalled for. It's like potentially a decent bit more efficient, but you can get timeouts, which gets really annoying. If you hear screaming children, they're my children, and they're not happy. I hear them outside. Let's see, they're fetching a bunch of things. Let's see, what are these errors about? I think it's just parsing failures. So, what I'm kind of curious about is whether we are getting some of these. Well, it's a feed. So we do this. We might just see. Let's do that. Let's see if we start getting entries. The initial fetch is like 1,000 items, which is kind of on the heavy side. So it should take a little bit and then it starts scrolling by pretty quick. Is the idea. Also did MCRM just like remove this entry offset, which will make the pod fetcher fetch more things, ideally. Let's see, did I change things? No, I think this is the same. Oh, let's see, I probably just disabled the pod stream pod fetcher. Yes, I have. Suddenly we have those. But that's, no, wait. One moment, I need to argue with a 4-year-old. Okay, I'm back. Child dispatched back to wherever it is children go. So we have this scrolly list. It's fast, it's impressive, and I would rather that we can see both of these. No, not like that. Not sure this will work. It's been a minute since I wrote some markup and tailwinded anything. But it's ballpark. This is what I want to do. So now these are parallel. This updating is a little bit aggressive. Makes it kinda hard to see. Not sure we can change that too much. It is what it is, kind of. I'm curious what the feed fetchers feels like it's doing currently. If I turn off this pod fetcher. Like if you have any questions about what we're doing, feel free to ask. I'm happy to clarify, because jumping in on like episode 3, I get that it might be confusing. But I'm a bit surprised that the feed fetcher is not doing more. Oh, feed that title. Could there be an error? No bueno. So we get these. We logger info. Oh, we get some feed titles here. I think there's an error here because this should be feed.feed.title, which means that over here also needs to be feed.title, and I don't think there's a feed ID. Things like that. Probably. Let's restart it, see what it does. Not much currently, but I think it's fetching all of these. Because all right, so now we're seeing these. Only seeing one? It's a bit surprising. I don't think we told it to remove any of them. Is there any reason why it would blow away the state so frequently? Seems suspicious. God, Tech and Hustle podcast. Maker with coffee. So if we limit this to 10, I guess it would just be much worse at like scrolling just a ton more. Trying to test the live view hook with JS unit test. How's that working out for you? I have never enjoyed writing unit tests in anything but EXUnit. I'm barely done. Actually, I do like writing tests for kind of pure things, or where you have a piece of test data you can work off of, then that's fine. But I'm not I don't necessarily enjoy writing unit tests, let's just say. It's not where programming gets fun for me. Why would this? It gets entries, it does yada yada yadas. Stores the feed that produces a broadcast. The broadcast should hit this, which should take the ID and the title. Oh, that would explain it. So sloppy. Sloppy. But this fetchy thing that we did, this one, that one's a bit slow. And I did have a task async stream here instead, but it had timeouts, which I guess fair, but we could be a little bit more unruly about it and do. So I think in the feed fetcher we have some timeout infinity on those. Yes, that's healthy. infinity is a perfect timeout. Let's do 2 minutes rather than infinity. Okay, so now we get these as they show up. That's more in line with what I was hoping. Now if we enable this, we're gonna have 2 very helpful scrolly lists, I guess. Oh, sorry, I screwed that up. When I do async stream there, I need to do, okay, blah, here. Hey Adam, welcome back here. Seen you around here before. One of them enthusiasts. What is it that timed out? Something in Podfetcher. Line 23 in Podfetcher. Yeah, okay, so this one doesn't have... Let's give it infinity to complete its work. It deserves it. I'm curious if you have ideas about how you illustrate this stuff well, because it's definitely going by fairly quick. Actually, something that would be fun. So this one is pulling them all and it's storing the entries. That is fairly immediate, so that happens almost immediately. This is different. So we could do a map that is just status and do assign socket and then status map put socket assigns style. I have an idea about how to give a bit of an overview at least. I'm not sure I'm gonna make it look good, but started. I want to make it an interesting visual, and the text might just have to go because that's a bit much. But, feed fetched. So this I think could describe the progress. So instead of all this, we could do yeah, so I can absolutely do that and just show some counts. That's a good start. We could absolutely do the started and count. Filter status. Well, where element 1 equals started. Nice and readable, I'm sure. So that's the like, fetched. And this is the first thing we can do. Let's restart it so it does some fun processing again. Hey Matt, welcome to the stream. What is up? That's a good question. We're experimenting mostly. Huh, it's not doing any of the... So let's kill the offset, make sure the pod fetcher is running. Yes, it is. Now we should be able to... No, both numbers should be moving ideally. That's kind of fun. 9:40 p.m. Friday night in Perth. Nice. That's just before heading out for the parties, I guess. Or do they party in Perth? I have no idea. Maybe that's a Sydney thing. I gotta go to Australia at some point. Perth is Australia, right? Might be more Perths out there. Hey, Tommy. If this is the party, I'm kind of sorry for the world. This is a party. I can go with that. So let's see. This is the ID and that's the status, and I want to do things to it. I actually want to sort by. And so I want to sort it by ID so they don't jump around a ton. So ascending ID or descending IDs is probably more fun. No, ascending IDs. This is gonna scroll off the screen immediately. I have problems and I'm gonna have to deal with them. So well, I guess we can do class equals, and I believe we can do something special here. Value class custom styling with yes. At class, yeah. But I think there's some special stuff we can do with the class specifically. Yeah, I'll do the silly way first. Status equals started. Gray. Or is it Slate 300? It's probably a Tailwind name. Feed fetched. I don't remember the colors. Yeah, I thought Slate was a thing. Amber. I want some Amber 300. Why it's doing nothing. I wanted to show something. Come on. This is broken. No send to minidisc currently. Actually, don't get me rabbit holed, Adam. It's rude. We can get into that if we want. But again, it is rude. So we want an inline block, I think, for all these, so that they actually have a size. Otherwise, they don't really work. What I want is tiny little squares. Oh. Maybe the background color should be the thing I change. There we go. Flawless little guys. Now I'm gonna try an old HTML trick to avoid undue spaces in markup. Hopefully I shouldn't need it, but I think it's mostly having text height here that's the problem. CSS, come on. Line height. If I don't want any line height, I think it's a problem. Okay, oh, apparently I fixed it. Kind of. I fixed the spacing between them. Still not sure why they are so high. I assume it's because they have... Oh, I haven't set a height for them. That's why. That should be better. But I don't want them to be this high. I thought I told you. Told you, homeboy. Because that has worked on that one. But this is not an inline block, right? So it didn't help. I mostly restart the dev server to get the to reset the processing so it happens more quickly. So this is only that high. Wait, what? This is so weird. Oh, CSS, gotta love it. Okay. To calm this down a little bit, let's I'm just gonna ignore these for now, or remove these for now. I don't want them. If that means my things go spacey again, I'll have to live with that. But I just want to remove this. we can do clean on that map. And just do so that I can actually try this without constantly this page is just completely swamped in requests. Okay. So if I do, let's say 500 of these instead. Now we can at least inspect these without them scrolling away from us. That is interesting. Does it matter if I would remove the inline block on this one? Yes, then they disappear. If I make this one a block, then they wrap. Cool. Okay, if I do this, does that change things? Yes. All right. Now that's better. Probably don't need this. Right. Yeah, I do. Or at least block, I think. Yeah, okay, block is fine. So this is a nice thing about using simple data structures. You can just replace the implementation and just go, I just need this state for a moment so I can think and do work. So right now it's not fetching any new podcasts because it ran out of them. Let's reset it so we'll start from the beginning again. Poor thing. Now that's an interesting visual. It's brutal as far as like DOM updates go. Actually, it might not have too much reflow. But yeah. So Adam, if I was going to do Minidisc stuff from Elixir, from live view and that kind of thing, I would have to integrate with some C libraries, which is not my idea of a good time. It's not something I'm great at. I would like to do it at some point. It would be very, very satisfying to have a good Elixir library for talking to Minidisc. So if you don't follow my sideshow obsessions, I like Minidisc. So this is my portable one, but actually it's more of my recording one because it has this one has actually, ooh, did it reset the progress thing? So it has micro USB or mini USB, of course, and people have reversed it so that we can actually use some nice web tools to put songs onto Minidisc, which was of course like Sony proprietary software previously. So that standard NetMD, all those devices are like $50 or so more expensive than non-NetMD Minidisc, which is annoying, but that's the way it is. Okay, so does it crap out and restart at a certain point, or what happened? Does the live view become kind of tired from getting thousands of updates continuously for a long time, or I'm curious what made it reset. Yeah, there's something. Transport long pole. Did it switch to long polling? That's fun. Can't imagine it's doing long polling right now. It is! That's funny. Why is it not doing the WebSocket? Is it just angry at me because I've done too much harm to it? So if I restart this. Wow, it's just doing the long polling. That's unexpected. I'm just gonna try turning off the long poll, because there's no reason it shouldn't be doing. Okay. I wonder if there's some flag set now that it just thinks it should prefer long polling. Yep. That's weird. I assume some failure behavior of the WebSocket due to all the silliness we were doing was the cause of that. So now we're back on a WebSocket, which is probably a lot more performant. We can see here. Whee! And actually, if we do something slightly more clever, we would minimize the changes. Now, I have these statuses. Right now, we just let that list keep growing, which is kind of brutal, to be fair. And if we go like this, take we just take 1,000 of them. So I mean it maxes out at 1,000 dots. This doesn't go further. And if we want it to have more activity, we need to do it descending style. Right now it's just fetching those and it's not really showing any feed fetches. Don't know what that's about. Let's do that. I might have finished all the feed fetches, honestly. Ah, there. Now we see the yellow of the feed fetching turn up. It is kind of brutal to be sending so many messages. This would be quite bad if we had many connected users. There there could be some cleverness we might want to do. Or at least we might want to not just slam everything into assigns constantly, but rather kind of batch them. Okay, so this is interesting. With this direction, we essentially don't see any change now unless the feed fetch gets further, and I don't think it can get further because it doesn't have proper paging. Otherwise, beyond this, I guess we would need to do graphs if we want to indicate the amount fetched. I think this is cute, but it's not quite, it doesn't quite perform the way I would love or would prefer. So let's try something that will. So we could do, we have the numbers. So if we, instead of adding all of this to status, leave status alone for a bit. And we do let's see. Then we should be able to do something like a progress bar, which is, how do I want to represent this? So if it's W full and it is BG slate 300, then it has this, which could be then style equals width, and then we need to do a map to get a percent. Round enum count. This, well, these are annoying, so entry count. Feed count. I don't know why these keep going up if we're limiting the size of them. Something's wrong with that. Okay. Oh right, we were basing it on status, and status was not limited. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. So let's see, we do entry count divided by 100. No, hold on. Oh, turning things into percentages. Don't make me do math. The width of the thing, well, it's 1% is entry count divided by 100. And then there is an easier way to do this math. I'm just not very good at math. And then I divide the feed count by that percentage size. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I multiply it by the feed count. And I tell it to PPG slate LBG amber 300. And we see what we get. Rendering problems. Bad argument in arithmetic expression. I should never do math. It's not okay. Never okay to do math. But why was it a bad arithmetic expression? Okay, so maybe it was... No, bad argument in arithmetic, yada yadas. Lovely. Anyone have any clue why my arithmetic is so bad? Anyone? I didn't think it was that bad. Let's see. I wonder if I'm allowed to line break this much in this. I don't think I can break a string apart like this, but I'm not sure. So entry count and feed count should be perfectly fine. Weird floats. That could be something. These should all be integers. This division might produce a float, but I think I can still divide by a float. Hold on. Trailing commas, not allowed. can I do this just elsewhere then? Feed percentage. That's right, let the server do the math. So now I have bad arithmetic here, which is much nicer. So why is it bad? Oh, I guess this becomes a division by 0. If science entry count I thought about division by 0, but I didn't think enough about it. Okay, so now we should have a thing that is doing something here. Oh, this is 181%. That's weird. Just thousands of percent. So I think my math might be wrong, but I also note that this is invisible, which is not what it's supposed to be. So. There we go. So my math is all wrong. Range to percentage. Convert between ranges. So the old range. I'm a little bit tired to be doing this on a Friday, but okay. 1 cent is science.entry count divided by 100. That is 1 per cent. And if I then divide feed by cent. Then I have, what do I have? Then I guess I have how many percent there are. Maybe I took it one step further than necessary. That could have been it. Let's restart this. Sometimes I feel like the dumbest programmer on earth. But hey, I have a progress bar. Let's round those corners. Oh no, not just those corners. So how do you do overflow hidden? It's not just hidden, I think, because that's another thing. Overflow hidden, yeah. It is not fetching any feeds now, so we should fix that pager as well, because that is preventing our feed fetcher from going further. It will go to about 700 and then it will be done because it only had 1,000 to work from. All right. Cool. That's a decent illustration. And we can also just add for out of kind of interest. So this is a span, which I think is can be interesting. So let's list it first. Yes. Hid at entries. We can actually do a small for loop here. I think if we do take entries 1, then we get an empty list if there's nothing there, which is kind of nice. Ergonomic and stuff. So. And I forgot how to close a span. So a theory that would let's do inline blocks so they can be next to each other. And then also in here we have that, but for feeds. At feeds, at entries. Gotta get those as signs. I think I'm gonna have to tell it to not line break, or just not put them inside of the thing. But you can do cooler things if you put it inside of the thing. So I like that as an idea. I don't want to tune that currently. So now that's it's the amount of blockchain and crypto podcasts there are out there is absolutely terrifying. Okay, let's fix the podcatcher. I'm just gonna do a quick commit here. A bit of UI at least. I want to fix the feed fetcher. And it relies on get entries. And does that using Tigris list keys. And Tigris list keys does list. Let's check if EXAWS has a list v2 kind of thing. Oh. EXAWS S3. So we do list objects there. Well, this is weird. Usually I don't end up on the... Let's go this way. I want the current one. There, list objects v2. So, supposedly, we can use this and then do some continuing. Just gonna quickly start it without these. We can test some stuff. So this one just fetches the content. So these, I think, pod stream entries. Okay, let's see. What do we get if we just do this? So we get this list, but if we look at it here, all right, this is very loud. I don't care about the output, I care about the logging. We get next continuation token. And we should be able to pass in the next continuation token as the continuation token. So if we want to stream keys, let's try this. And then we do ex stream. I wonder if there was an example of that in here. Yes, it does exist. Can be streamed. I wonder if it will automatically use the continuation token if you do that. We can try it. And then just do an count, see how many we got. String keys. If we get 1,000, it's not using the continuation token. If we get more, it is. I'm starting to think it might be doing the thing. Let's do... Excuse me. So stream dot map. We can do this, I guess. So we're doing side effects now. Oh, let's do that. So we put something in the process dictionary so that we can keep track of the count. Oh yeah, it's doing the continuation token thing. Sweet. You can do a lot of fun with that. Now I hear a sad child incoming, so I will just duck away from the computer for a little bit. One moment. Refreshingly, kid had only bumped their head, was sad, while they were getting into the car because we're gonna go off and have a good time with their cousins. So that was actually a pretty good check-in. Never know what's going on out there. sound off if you're still in the chat and still watching. Might be a little bit tired, but actually I'm thrilled to see this, because this is so convenient. Just streaming and getting the continuations. This is gonna be sweet, because then we can do stream map. Just grab the part we want, contents. Let's see, so it's not a problem in the pod fetcher, but I think fetch set could be changed to do something smarter as well, possibly. But this could get much more fun. So right now it's doing batches, but we're doing an async stream. So instead of just doing this dull approach, we can do something much more interesting. If we just pipe this immediately into the next one, we make that a stream. What was it called? Get entries. Stream keys. And then this, does it Tigris get? So what did list keys do? We just did that. So we need to do that. The fun thing is, if at any point we accidentally put an enum in, we are murdering the performance of this. But here's, so for example, that would have been bad. But this way, it should be streaming through the entire thing. Which should be kind of amazing, if everything works as intended. Let's reset that. Let's start that. Oh no. Cannot compile. I probably removed something load bearing. Probably not the formatting. Undefined variable entries. What does it want entries for? Yes. ... There we go. No, oh. I want the Phoenix server this time. Oh, explosions. No function class and anonymous. Tigris, stream keys, blah, blah, blah. Where did it blow up? I'm not fully grokking which. Because this is after this has happened, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe we get a different shape out of this. So let's do stream.map. Because we might not get all the same information. Yeah, okay. So we don't need to do that because that's already being done. Applyste podcast. Why is it always Applyste podcast? Do I not add that one in the same way? Seems weird that it would be Applyste podcast. Okay, now it changed. Oh. OBS Studio just said it was disconnecting. That's concerning. I think we had a glitch in the matrix. Is everyone still connected? Can you still hear me? Oh, actually, this might be kind of heavy on the network. Let's actually look at what we're doing. So let's do this, and well, there's some network. This is what's happening currently. And this, what happens when we start doing this. Yeah. So not surprising that OBS maybe fell off of the network. So many task async streams. Perhaps we should set some limits. Oh, that was fun. I'm glad we could be that wild. But let's calm things down a bit. Just do. So given a key, need to take this like that key. And maybe the feed fetcher doesn't need to be quite so concurrent. So that's the fun one, but we could also do like 4 or something, or just yeah let's do 4, and make one of these for the pod fetcher as well, because I know I'm doing things with this here as well. So what kind of happened there was I saturated my internet connection very brutally, which took the stream offline for a short minute. Yeah, let's see. So that's that one. I think we had multiple async streams in this one. That one now uses max concurrency, and this can do. So the default max concurrency on this is equal to the number of schedulers, which is a bit much for this circumstance. Let's see if this calms it down a bit. Stream map is undefined or private. Yeah, so it's happening in entries. I did a map wrong. Yeah. I just tipped some water. So this is a calmer level. This will probably not interfere with anything else, such as the actual stream that we're trying to perform. So now if we're adding more processing steps, I guess we can add those as additional colors for kind of how far along these things are. So let's see, we've done an hour and 40 minutes already? Jeez. All right. I want to try a little bit of nerves experimentation. Is anyone up for a little bit of nerves to round out this stream, or is that too much? Let's see, I need to just find where I was doing that. It's probably that. It's not. No one up for any nerves? Come on, need to know. Gotta tell me if you want nerves. I won't just do nerves. Have to be approved. Have to be encouraged. So I was thinking about doing something with this thing. The Super 6C board. It's a cute little thing. And so one thing I built for nerves at one point was this, which is a cutesy little thing. And what's that? Deck. All right. I could use this, plus I need to ensure that I have the setup for everything. Yeah, so it's DNS bridge. Whatchamacallits. Well, there's new. Cluster. Yeah, you're getting nerves regardless of whether you said you wanted it or not. I'm just keen. So we'll do a little bit of nerves because I don't think I have anything else this afternoon. No. So these are all Raspberry Pi 4 compute modules. I have a sixth one, but it's busy. It's doing work, kind of. And if we don't care too much about setting up which hosts these are, things should be pretty simple, because if I'm not mistaken, I named these previously and they're named like that. Yes, so I should have sec1 through 5. Yes. Now, let's see then. Let's see what we can do. MDNS. There's no. The MDNS Lite does not have this config by default. So we add that. And we add this. Is there a config for VintageNet? Yes, there is. So we can do just this part down here. I think that should be most of it. Unless I do something fancy, all of these will end up with the hostname nerves. They can get the cluster hostname, but they will fight about it. Not sure I care which one gets it though. Oh, we can do. Oh, I like this short name, so let's keep going with SEC. So that mixed ups get done. Let's create mixed firmware for sec1. Now they're gonna get one specific firmware each, which is weird, but that's how we do it for now. So mix upload sec1.local should send this to that one. I can start doing sec2. So we should see one of sec1 should restart in a minute. It's definitely having some activity and it's restarting. Cool. Actually, I can probably give you a better view. There. So let's build a firmware for sec2. Baking the hostname into the firmware like this. That's very fancy. Oh, I haven't been adding I didn't add my library, which will mean that they can't find each other. So let's do that before we do anything else. Nerves node. GitHub:/nerves node. This is a very silly library. You might just want to kind of vendor it if you want to use it for anything. Oh, what? Can't expand. Can't compile module nerves node. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, it uses toolshed? Does it use Toolshed in a bad way? I'm surprised. What do I do with Toolshed? Do I need to tell people to install Toolshed? Yeah, it does use Toolshed, which I guess is a little bit unusual for that stage of things. Module Toolshed is not loaded, cannot be found. Can I do it this way then? Because like I have Toolshed, that's not the problem. I'm not sure what Nerves node is using Toolshed for either. Let's just try hacking it a little bit. It might be using Toolshed for something important. We'll find out. Undefined function hostname. So this depends on Toolshed. It just doesn't know that it depends on Toolshed. That's a mistake on my part at some point. So right now we're hacking a dependency raw. That's not how you're supposed to do it, but it's how I'm doing it right now. Perfect, nailed it. By the way, we can check that the sec1 managed to come up. Yes, it did. Nice. Excuse the coughing. Mix, upload. Oh, hold on. I should put it in here as well. Let's see, I had some instructions. Yes, let's use the same cookie. Classic one. Bringing the revolution up at Twitch. Thank you for watching. Quote bots. I did not know that was a thing. All right. I need to learn a lot about how to Twitch properly. Oh. Hey, Andreas. Quote bots, the best of things. I think that's an exaggeration. But I see the point. That's pretty good. Can't complain. So that's my buddy Andreas Ekeroth over in Twitch chat. I think the viewership is winding down, so having a one-on-one conversation actually kind of works. But yeah, let's finish up trying this. See if we can get 2 of these nodes set up with this. And if it's still doing what it was built to do back in the day. I haven't touched this. Gee, is that 3 years ago? Surprising. So now this blink little man should start restarting. Don't know if you've told me about your beef with time, Andreas. Doesn't surprise me that you have one. Oh no, this doesn't look good at all. Have they changed the APIs in MDNS Lite? Bet they have. They've changed MDNS Lite. So sad. It's going to require more hacking. Let's see, do we have... Oh, did I put this in my home directory? That's silly. Oh, I definitely had it there, so that's something. So let's like add that this needs some version of toolshed. More or equal to 0, 0, 0, I guess. And let's look at MDNS like and when it changed. How dare. Breaking change. We can just check what it does. Don't care specifically which version changed it. Because we were doing a table and we were doing, they now have query. And we are doing run query, right? No? What? I thought I complained about something called run query. That wasn't it. No function clause matching. Oh, because we're running query. We're triggering a query. Huh. So the run query is still a thing. Is this a macro? It seems like it's a macro. Why is there a macro there? I don't know what it means. Oh, let's see, run query. Takes the table, takes a query. And this is a type. An alias for the DNS module. So let's look. Hold on. DNS Lite, DNS. There. Oh, I'm confused. I thought I was gonna find a record here. Is this a thing we do with records? Scary. Oh, that's, yeah, DNS query. Am I constructing my query incorrectly? Wonder, has the stuff... Yeah. Let's see, what was the error again? So it was happening as part of check. So it's query for nodes and connect nodes. It's at the query for nodes that's happening. So build query EPMD definition. ETSP.local, that's probably fine. Multicast all. It's probably at the query all caches that we're hitting this, right? Cache, query, table, query, run query, DNS query. So is this not an appropriate shape for a DNS query? So it's grabbing these shapes from Erlang. So if we look at Erlang DNS. Oh dear, sorry about any noise there. So we have DNS query. And this is an Erlang record, which I guess then contains we have build query here somewhere. DNS query. And the DNS query should contain a domain, query type, query class. And the domain should be a DNS name. The heck is the DNS name then? It's a string. A string with no adjacent dots. And when we're building this query, we're just passing it this, which is fine. That seems reasonable. Okay, let's poke it. What do you want from me? So the thing we want to do is discover the Erlang process, blah blah blah. This daemon that Erlang likes to run for clustering, and want to discover that on other places. So we build this query, which is q equals DNS query pr in, and then mdns like responder multicast all, and that blows up. Okay. Why does this blow up? Did that blow up previously? Yes, it did. Seems weird, man. Seems like this should be allowed. Code query section. All right, I am not going to go deep on debugging this right now. I wonder. I'm very curious why this is broken. I didn't expect it to have moved much. Like MDNS Lite, I know things have happened to the with that library. It doesn't tend to stand still, but if we look across the last 3 years, I guess. So this was the stuff that enabled it to work. Oh, DNS encoder. Okay, so it does change something about the DNS encoder and decoder that could possibly affect what I'm trying to do. Huh. I honestly have no idea why that doesn't work. Huh. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Well, my old nerves node code did not live up to the task. That's unfortunate. We'll have to look at the pretty lights talking to each other another time. All right, time for me to wrap up. But thank you all for watching. I hope to catch you again soon. Hope to see some of you over at Gig City Elixir. Well, thank you for watching. Stay curious out there. Have a great weekend.